all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
Fight, liberty, and the people. If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear.
Make America great again.
The Big Mig.
Well, good morning and welcome back to the Big Mig Show. Of course, I'm your host, Lance Bigliaccio, with my ride or die co-host, George B. And the name of the game, it's tip of the spear, edge of the knife. You know how we do it on this show. Of course, we're always bringing you the truth, the facts, the sauce, the evidence. You call it whatever you like. The matter of fact is that we just want to make sure you guys have the real stories, not a bunch of mainstream mean garbage. George B.
Yes,
what's up? How are you, brother?
Oh, I'm good. You know, it's Friday, but I do have a little treat for you.
A treat?
A little set the mood. It was funny.
Oh, I thought maybe you had a bag full of cash for me.
No, not happening. No. Fortunately, it's not working out.
Sounded good though, right?
Sounded good, yeah. I wish I had a bag of cash for myself.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do it, or you want to do the...
I'd share my bag of cash, George. If I had a bag of cash, I'd share my bag.
I didn't say I wouldn't share it with you.
No, I said I'd share mine with you. You wouldn't have to worry. I would.
You want me to do that first, or you want to do your little read thingy?
Yeah, let's go with the fun. Come on, it's Friday,
right.
Baby.
It is
I
Friday.
kind of like what we did last week with the old Schwarzeroni. So, you know, I kind of feel like Friday's got to be a little lighter. You know, we work our butts off. You guys know that. We try to do everything we can to make sure you guys have a great show. And the deal is, of course, it's Friday. Let's go, George.
All right. So, you know, Trump was by the reflecting pool, you know, by the Lincoln Memorial.
Yes.
And he's with there with construction workers. He actually took the motorcade. He drove right into the reflection pool. It was empty, of course. You know, reporters are asking dumb questions. They're going there, and then Tom Homan was there. And he's, you know, standing right next to Trump. And he goes, I got a question. He just like out of the blue. I'm not going to tell you what his question was. I'm just going to leave it for you guys. Listen carefully.
Oh, I like
Greatest president of my lifetime.
Yes, sir.
I got a question. Are you all legal?
Yes. Actually, from Oklahoma, the answer is probably yes. Indian. Yes, sir. Choctaw.
He was asking the construction workers if you weren't.
I know.
Are you all legal? I thought it was classic.
That is classic. Classic Tom Homan. Probably.
Could you imagine if that construction guy had a couple of illegals there? That would have been bad.
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
Then Trump goes to him and goes, did you all vote for Trump? It's okay if some of you didn't, but I think you guys probably all did. And they're like, we're from Oklahoma. It was just fun. It was funny. Yeah.
You know,
Good for them.
You know, the government contracts, of course, you bid them from all over the country. I don't know who won that one, but it was funny, classic Tom Homan.
He's getting that done for like pennies on a dollar compared to all the other contracts that the other administrations tried doing. They wanted like ridiculous amounts of money. Where this is like, I think it was under $2 million.
What are they doing exactly, George? I'm not sure. I'm up to
They're
date on that.
restoring it because there was so much. They said so much garbage in the water. The water's brown. It was disgusting. It's the Lincoln Memorial. You know, the president that freed the slaves and everything.
Yeah. I know the memorial itself. I just didn't know exactly what they were doing to it. I wasn't really aware of what they'd been up to. So, but it's great. I love to see it. I love to see Tom Homan in good spirits. You know, he got attacked pretty hard. You know, look, there's a lot of picks in this administration, and I have to be honest with you. I like Tom Homan. I think he's trying to do a really good job. I think he really, really cares about what he's doing. And I think that's always a big deal. Whenever you got people in here that care about what they're doing, that really want to do a good job, you know, I don't think that's easy to find in this day and age. It doesn't matter what your company is. It doesn't matter if you're in DC. It doesn't matter if you're running a business at home, wherever you live in whatever state, for your people out there that are watching our show. So I like them a lot. Great. Listen, if you like the show, the best thing you can do for us is thumbs up, comment, share, and
Lance,
subscribe.
hold on a second. I know some people, I'm looking at the comments, some people having trouble with the stream. I know everything's working on our end. I know it's working in Rumble. I mean, if anything, just log out, log back in. Sometimes I'll reset it. It's not us, it's Rumble. Yeah, Lance.
Yeah. So listen, what I want to say to you guys is, listen, if you know what, the best thing you can do for us always is sharing our content, right? Taking the live link, sharing it. And the follow button is one of the best ways. If you can hit the follow button for the unpaid subscription, fantastic. We're getting tens of thousands of views, so we'd like to see tens of thousands of follows. Lots of new people in the audience. Come in the chat. Don't be shy. Get in the comments, those comments underneath our show. Leave us a comment. You enjoyed the show. If you'd like us to see cover specific interviews or topics, get in there and leave us a comment. Let's max out the comments day. Let's make it Friday comment day. Let's just load up comments. And of course, as always, the paid subscriptions and the Rumble Rant tips, those are always appreciated. Our paid subscription is $5 a month. It's very small. We try to build that up. It's a quantity thing. It's not really, so much a huge tip thing. Of course, if you want to do a Rumble Rant tip or tip us in the Rumble crypto wallet, that's there too. So we appreciate you guys for doing it. Listen, we want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors. Of course, I'm talking about Genesis Gold Group. George Love, and I love that bling. We love that gold and silver. Of course, the Prepper Bar is your perfect solution. Of course, at the end of the day, these are real tangible forms of wealth. Gold and silver you can hold, trade, and trust. No government can seize it. No hacker can steal it. Time is ticking. And you need to act now to secure your Prepper Bars before the government rolls out their next move. You never know what it's going to be. And of course, who doesn't like gold and silver? I've had mine since a child. My dad gave me a bunch of gold and silver when I was little. Never sold it. I've had it this whole time. I continue to hold it, probably pass it down to my daughter. And listen, it's one of those things. It's the gift that keeps on giving. And right now you can use your code Big Mig Silver. That's going to get you 10% off on the silver. Big Mig Gold. That's going to get you 5% off on the gold. And don't wait until your money is worthless. Always have a backup plan. The BigMigBar.com is where you're going to go. That's right, the BigMigBar.com. Or you can use that QR code and take a snapshot of that. Don't go there now. Go there after the show. Or you can call 888-526-7154, 888-526-7154, thebigmigbar.com. Pick yourself up a little gold and silver.
Break me off a piece of that Prepper Bar.
What?
The Preppity Prepper Bar. All right. Well, listen, I'm confused. Maybe you guys are too. I don't know. I went and looked at the definition of ceasefire yesterday.
Lance, I'll be right back. I'm going to put you on.
Yeah. And a ceasefire is a temporary cessation. It's a suspension or stop of warfare, hostilities, or fighting. Usually agreed upon by opposing sides. It's a formal or informal truce or armistice. It seems pretty clear to me. It would seem that it would be pretty obvious to most people when you have a ceasefire saying Thanksgiving because maybe some of the political banter or the discussion goes off the rails, or you have a ceasefire at home. You know what that's like when you're having problems with your significant other. I think we're all pretty familiar with that. I don't think we're in a ceasefire any longer, and I can't quite figure out why nobody's announcing that the ceasefire is over. I see hostilities, and I see lots of them, and I think they were mostly triggered by Iran to begin with. The U.S. is launching military attacks on Iranian ports of Qeshm and Abbas. Of course, this is following the reports of the attacks. The Iranians seem to be doing all of it. And then, of course, we're going to retaliate. George, do you feel like there's a ceasefire going on? Because I don't. Confused, buddy.
I mean, according to the military and Trump, it's still on. But, I mean, if you fire missiles, and I know Trump had warned them that if you fire missiles at our ships, let's just put it for that part, that he's going to obliviate them. Well, they did fire missiles at some of our ships. I mean, they fired missiles at UAE 2 days in a row. I mean, that's not a ceasefire, but, I was listening to Trump. He's trying to do it, without the use of force. And diplomatically, yada yada yada. But you know, you give the Iranians an inch, they're going to want a mile, and they're just taunting. I mean, I don't know. That doesn't show strength to me, but does it show resolve? Maybe. I don't know. If it was me, as soon as they fired those missiles at our ships, I would have been telling my commanders, fucking hammer the shit out of them. Hammer Iran, let's go. Let's just finish them off. I'm done. Done playing games. I tried to be nice. I mean, what are you going to do?
I'm with you. I agree with you 100%. You can't just dip your toe in the water. There's a lot of that kind of stuff we did. We've seen it in kinetic events. There's a lot of events where we just didn't do the job that was necessary. Look, I just don't think this is a ceasefire, and I don't think he should be telling the American public that it's still a ceasefire. You know, I wonder if UAE thinks it's a ceasefire. Iran's been hitting them. I don't know if it's because they pulled out of OPEC. I don't know what you know, again, I'm looking at this, and I agree with you, George. I don't think you can candy ass with the Iranians. They pulled this BS nonstop in almost every negotiation they've ever been in. This is their MO. I don't think a tiger with this particular administration in Iran can change its stripes. I don't think that's what we're seeing here. And I would recommend to the administration, stop dicking around. I don't know how you and the guys in the audience feel, but listen, I'm not, you know, whatever reason politically, we all know why we're there. We may not all agree with it, but if you're going to do it, then you don't do it half-assed. And I feel like right now we're doing a half-assed job all of a sudden. Like we were kind of doing the job. I know the 60 days are up. I know Congress hasn't declared war. I don't give a shit about any of that. Donald Trump is not the only president that's ever done this. Obama did it, you know, and many others. So just, you know, I don't want to hear all that BS. But so the U.S. conducted strikes on the Qeshm port, Bandar Abbas in Iran. They're affirming these actions do not signify a ceasefire violation. I disagree. While Iranian media and officials declared the ceasefire has been violated by the U.S. Well, I don't think so. I think the ceasefire was violated by Iran first. So CENTCOM says it intercepted unprovoked Iranian attacks on their warships as they transited the Hormuz Strait. Look, they're exchanging fire. You know, George, this seems like every bit of no ceasefire to me.
Seems like it to me, but, you know, we're not the president. It's mind-boggling, but I don't know. Maybe there's things that, you know, we're not privy to. I'm pretty sure there is. But, well, I mean, look, this is going to be not even a day by day. I would say an hour by hour developing story because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what the Iranians fired 2 days at UAE at our ships. I mean, what's next? They even actually took out one. They fired at a Chinese ship, their own ally. They fired at. That's how reckless or they are. Even how their systems are working.
I wonder how China feels about that.
I don't know. They'll probably, you know, Iran will say, no, that was the U.S. doing that. It wasn't us. You know, maybe the Chinese will go with it, maybe not. But, I mean, you know what you don't hear? Like, how is China doing with all their oil and gas? Because, I mean, look, they're not getting it from Venezuela. They're not really getting it from Iran. So where are they getting it from? What's going on over there?
Well,
sorry.
It's an interesting thing you just brought up. But the Chinese have a massive strategic reserve. They have a massive oil stockpile.
Who?
Now they need a massive oil stockpile.
The Chinese?
But they have a massive oil reserve. Massive.
I heard they were dipping into their reserves.
I'm not telling you that they're not dipping into their reserves. I don't know that one way or the other. I didn't hear anything about it, but it doesn't really matter when you have a massive oil reserve. I'm not telling you that it might not matter in 6, 10, 12 months, a year, but my understanding is they have a stockpile that exceeds anybody else's stockpile in the entire globe. You know, Biden depleted our military stockpile, you know, that our national reserve. But again, they've got a huge one. I don't think they're going to be feeling much pain for a while from everything I've read. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it. But yeah, I think you're right. But, you know, George, you've said it many times, Carg Island. Give me your thoughts there, buddy.
I think that what do they have, like maybe a month or so before it's filled to capacity. And I mean, what happens when it gets filled? Are they able to shut their the rigs down? I mean, they should be able to, but once it's filled, well, I mean, we should just take it. We keep saying it. I feel like a broken record. Take Carg Island, take all the oil, use it to pay for the war and pay down our deficit. Why not? Fuck it. Get something. We need to get something out of this more than just, what they say. I want to see the debt paid down with a lot of that oil. What do you get? $500 million a day? $500 million a day. Times 30. How much is that, Lance? How many billion? That could go towards the our deficit.
30?
No,
I mean, look, every 10 days you're gonna get $5 billion. Sure, that could make a dent if you could run it for a year. So don't forget we're $40 trillion in debt. So it's going to take a lot of money to come in. I don't know exactly what Donald Trump. I haven't heard. It's funny. Congress, Trump, they really don't bring up the debt a lot. They don't talk about how much debt we're in, which is interesting. I guess they consider it fiat money. I don't know what they consider it. It's interesting that discussion doesn't come up. Nobody wants to talk about balancing the budget or trying to pay our debt down. Or how about paying back Social Security so all our parents and all our loved ones that are on Social Security can get a boost? They borrowed literally a massive number from Social Security. And by the way, that's not even legal, but they've done it anyway. So for all of you at home on Social Security, wouldn't you like a nice big boost for your Social Security? I mean, they aren't even keeping up with inflation, not at the prices we're seeing at the pumps or in the grocery stores.
Yeah.
I guess the administration mentioned something about prices are down. I don't feel like that. I feel like the grocery store prices, sure, eggs are down, but there's lots of things that aren't down. I mean, this whole beef thing they've done to us and the meat thing they've done, everything's up through the roof. Chicken, pork, turkey, beef.
Where's the beef? Remember the commercial, Where's the Beef?
Yeah. So the Iranian forces reportedly fired missiles and drones at the UX Truxtun, the USS Rafael Peralta, the USS Mason. I mean, that doesn't sound like a ceasefire. Now Iran's trying to point the finger. And that's the thing about Iran. They use the media to redirect, to do the sleight of hand, the David Copperfield. They want to do the Houdini. Oh, no, it was them. It was And then every time there's a ceasefire, all they're doing is restocking, rebuilding. We're giving them that opportunity. And between the Bitcoin mining and whatever oil they are getting out, I just don't understand.
I don't think they're getting out any oil right now.
No? Are you sure? None at all?
I don't think so, from my understanding.
Well, hopefully not. But that Bitcoin mining is going on at 1,300 a Bitcoin. I'd like to see that stop right now. So you've seen these explosions. You know about the attacks on UAE. I guess U.S. Navy vessels attempted to seize or attack an Iranian oil tanker. Now, that's why I'm getting maybe that they're still getting oil out. They attempted to seize or attack an Iranian oil tanker. Did they or didn't they? So the IRGC fired anti-ship missiles at the American warships. So if the administration, let's say the people that agree to the ceasefire is the administration in Iran. Well, the IRGC clearly isn't going along with it, and that means the Bazish isn't, the militia isn't easily going on. So they're not going along with it. I don't think we have any ceasefire. And I think a signal to the world, Donald Trump, and to the American people, you've got to show resolve. Pete Hegseth and the rest of you, I don't think we should be allowing this to go on. Forget that damn ceasefire. Let's clean up Iran for once in a while. Let's let those people get it back to Persia. And let those people live the way they should live. And let's stop the garbage in the Middle East, because Iran is at the center of it every single time. So I think enough's enough.
Before we go to the next one,
right.
Hold on. Before we go to that, this story came out. And for all you single parents out there, especially the ones that are struggling and the ones that their significant other spouses are not paying child support, well, the State Department is going to revoke passports of thousands of deadbeat parents owing massive child support. Not that
Great.
Yeah, great. I don't know if it is, but
Yeah, I think it's great. Although I do have to say that I do know some people that have been in child support battles. And the states really, there's some real cleaning up that needs to be done. I've seen people get hammered that were paying child support, barely getting by, the husbands. And then all of a sudden, the wife wanted more money. They go in front of these judges. The guy's struggling, not being able to cover his bills. And they come out with these numbers that just are impossible. The person's making so much money and the child support numbers through the roof because the judges are like retaliatory almost, for the women. I don't know. That's a strange system. I'm not saying there aren't people out there that have child support judgments against them that really shouldn't be there. Because, sometimes you have people, and I'm saying men and women, that are scammy. And it's a tricky situation. It's not so cut and dried. I know some people that I knew exactly what happened, and they told me the whole story, and it's just like the government just screwed them. And then the state takes some part during the collection process. A lot of that money doesn't go directly to the person that child support is supposed to get paid for. And it gets really weird. I've heard a lot of weird stories here in Colorado. I don't know if that's the same.
What do you mean?
State.
I never heard that before.
Yeah, Colorado's got some weird stuff where sometimes the total number isn't transferred. I know a guy that got into a major child support battle, and he'd gotten in some trouble, so he'd gone to jail. He got out. He didn't have any way to pay child support, and he had this massive arrears. He comes out of prison. He's trying to get back on his feet. And, I don't know how you deal with this massive arrears where they want these maximized payments, and a person's just trying to get back up. They know the guy was in jail. I don't know. It's a weird thing. And again, I'm not saying that happens very often. I'm not saying the guy didn't have his own issues. I just know him very well, and I knew his whole story. Very ugly story. Well, my question is, I got to put this out, George, since we're hitting some breaking news. How do you guys feel about the first tranche, the first release of UFO files?
I have that in there, bro.
Oh, do you? Okay, I didn't know you did, buddy. I didn't know. I didn't see it had it in there, but
number 3. I might as well just do it now. Just go to number 3.
All right. Well, you jump in there, George. Go
All
ahead.
right. President Trump, the first wave of UFO files just released this morning. And we could say, is this the administration most transparent? I guess. Yeah, it's getting there. I mean, they botched Epstein files, but, we're getting there too. So just some of the things that were in there so far. It says an inverted teardrop spotted over the United Arab Emirates. And the War Department can't say for sure what it is. You have UAE reports in the skies of Iraq. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff. Nothing. No, there. Nothing like, oh, there it is. We know it. Maybe it's just the first batch, little teaser. I mean, there's a lot of files to still go through.
You think it's a warm up?
They had some.
Everybody was hoping for some Area 51 real, true coverage, real, reverse engineered. Alien craft, alien, bodies, live aliens, interactions. People say it exists. They talk about things about Antarctica. They talk about, why we aren't allowed to go to Antarctica and what's really going on up there. There's a lot of theories out there. And listen, I'm not by no means a UFO or UAP expert. I personally don't know. I haven't spent enough time. I think we'd be naive. The universe is a massive place. I think we'd be naive to believe we're the only ones alive, right, Church? Don't you feel like there's no possibility that we're the only, intelligence in the entire universe? It doesn't seem possible to me.
Well, I'm going to say this. Well, you say you personally don't know. Well, I personally do know they are out there. You can't ask me why or how I know. Just can't tell you, but that's neither here or there. But even here in the skies of Greece, a small and circular UAP flying to the surface of the ocean towards land, and CENTCOM doesn't know what it is. I have a clip if you want me to play.
I do want you to play it. I want to see it myself.
No, it's not showing stuff. You have to go in the files and look at it. It's just Peter Ducey, but here.
This official left this hard drive on my desk overnight. You can see on it, it says AARO files copy 203. That is the all domain resolution office copy 203. This is the first big batch of UFO disclosure ordered by President Trump. Some of the clips and videos on there have popped up different places before. Some of them have not, and we have been going through this all morning and overnight to try to put together some of the best videos so we can all look at this together. This is a world exclusive right here. So let's go to the first clip over the skies of the United Arab Emirates in June 2024. An inverted teardrop with a vertically linear trailing mass, as described by the War Department, suspended below. The War Department cannot say for sure what this is. It is officially listed as an unresolved UAP report. The next video, over the skies of Iraq, December 2022, moving bottom left to top right of the field of view. All CENTCOM gets from this is an area of contrast. That's what they describe it as. It is officially still listed as an unresolved UAP report. Next video, over the skies of Greece, October 2023, what is described as a small and circular UAP flying near the surface of the ocean towards land. CENTCOM can't tell us what it is. It is officially listed as an unresolved UAP report. Within the last 2 minutes, all of these videos have gone live on war.gov/UFO, and a White House official tells Fox First, while past administrations sought to discredit or dissuade the American people, President Trump is focused on providing maximum transparency to the public, who can ultimately make up their own minds about the information contained in these files. And there's also a fresh look at some historical records. There's this from a
So they're even talking like, even when the space shuttle said there was these stuff outside their space shuttle, like small particles. Lance, you frozen? You were for a second. You're muted yourself, so unmute yourself. I'm not gonna keep.
Oh yeah, no, sorry about that. I want to see the video.
I mean, look, Secretary Rubio, we're gonna send him up.
I got to tell you, somebody needs to make a coffee top book of all the Marco Rubio memes. I want to see somebody make a coffee top book and put that up to sale. That would be a genius idea, because I think a lot of people would buy it. It's funny. You got to admit, creative. I love the people that are creating these. E.T. phone home. And I think Marco Rubio would be the best person. So is he going to be the secretary liaison to extraterrestrials?
Well, he's Secretary of State, so anything outside the United, it's his preview. But have you noticed that? And nobody's saying this, so I'm gonna. You notice that? Look, in Iraq, UAE, and just so happened Greece, that our military just happened to be there to get footage of all these things. Think about that for a second. We just happen to be there? Suspect. I'm saying.
Personally I think that our satellite tracking is much more advanced than people think. I think they can get.
That wasn't satellite tracking. That was coming from either the ships or fighter jets. That footage.
Well, I agree with that. What I was about to say though is when they get unidentified objects that don't respond to anything. Because sometimes, of course, they're flying in airspace. I think they're tracking the audio, say in Iraq or Iran as an example, and they're tracking the audio and they see that Iran is having a reaction to something. I wouldn't be surprised that any of the tracking that we have in space triggers tracking here from our jets, from our drones. I would think that the system is relatively sophisticated and sophisticated beyond what we see. I've heard some rumors about how powerful our actual imaging is from satellites, and what we're seeing, what's provided to the public, is kind of cleansed. We get this long distance look, and they've got stuff that will take them right up. I'll bet you they have some close up images of those vehicles.
That's what I'm saying, right? They can, from a satellite, they can see a dime on a floor, color and everything. And what do we get with these black and white stuff? Come on, they're still hiding stuff. If you remember GPS, when we were first allowed to use GPS, our GPS was nowhere near as accurate as the United States government. They would only allow us to get within a long distance. So original GPS, for you guys out there, a lot of you might know this, some of the hunters out there might know, you weren't allowed close proximity tracking. And it's changed. It's a different thing now, right? It's now you get a much more close period, because they were worried that people are going to use GPS to, use it for nefarious reasons. Now we get a much more accurate GPS, but the initial GPS that was offered to the public would only let you get, and I can't remember if it was so many feet, if it was 100 feet or 200 feet or 500 feet or 1,000 feet, it would not have let you get that pinpointed accuracy. That's changed, but there's a lot of reasons. All right, I don't know what's going on here. Anybody that knows much about the hantavirus? No, what? Hantavirus? What's that got to do with anything?
Disney.
We're not talking about the hantavirus, bro.
You don't want to talk about the...
No.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I was going to bring that up with the Disney thing. Is that okay?
No. Who cares? Who cares about that?
Okay, well, I care because I don't want it to be the next scamdemic. I think
it's not going to be.
Research. A lot of people are in panics talking about masks and all kinds of other garbage.
Nah, it's not going to be.
Already started with that. Be careful. Go do your own research. The hantavirus is a whole different virus. It's not transferable.
Yes, it is.
You got to really read about it. I've been doing a bunch of
I
reading.
did, and I was doing it all yesterday and stuff and everything. And even on the news, we're talking about it too. It can go person to person. If you're up, you have to be like close contact or something like that.
Yeah, extremely close contact.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not airborne. Yeah, so it's not the same. I just wanted to warn the audience to not get sucked in by some of this panic. Let's talk about the predators, George.
Yep, more predators. So Disney cruise ship staffers were among 28 predators arrested in this massive child porn sting. Yep, Disney cruise staffers. Look at that. This was between April 23rd and April 27th. CBD agents boarded at least 5 cruise ships docked in San Diego, including a Disney vessel, and arrested 28 crew members for allegedly receiving, possessing, transporting, and distributing or viewing child sexual abuse material. What scumbags. And the left are trying to switch it up right now, and they're trying to say, oh, that they were looking for illegal aliens. Nope. This was an investigation targeted for child predators. This is crazy.
Kind of unsettling to have anything with Disney. And there's been lots of stories about predators, pedophiles. Terrible place when you know that Disney is kind of the place, have always been perceived as the place of dreams and fun for kids. I don't know. Does that make you feel awkward, George, when you think about it? It's kind of like one of those things, you know, geez, I grew up with Disney. That was one of the big things. My mom, when we saved a little bit of money, because we grew up in a pretty poor environment. I was as a child. My parents didn't have a lot of money. And, you know, look, you know, going to the Disney movies as a child, that was a big deal. In fact, you know, we used to sneak popcorn in because we were really on a budget. We couldn't afford that movie store, that movie bought popcorn. My mom used to pop it. We used to hide it in our jackets. And we would go to the Disney movies. And that was a big treat when a new Disney cartoon came out. You know, I don't like the tone of Disney. I don't like what's happened there. I don't know if it was always there and maybe I didn't know it. You know, it's one of those things.
Yeah. I mean, there's always been shady stuff with Disney, even at Disneyland and Disney World, about child predators there and people involved. I mean, yeah, it's perfect breeding ground, right? It's a place for kids and stuff.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Disgusting.
There is no doubt. You know, the point is, for you guys out there, I feel like they're destroying kind of a legacy. So these cruise ships and this stuff, we've heard a lot of nasty stories now. And I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take. Accountability. You know, we, in my opinion, it comes down to this. We've got to get the judges and our prosecutors to you know, run these pedophiles with a hammer. You know, you guys, George, have you watched a lot of the pedophile hunters online? The guys that are going out and exposing these people, whether they're teachers, whether they're coaches, whether they're, have you seen all this stuff?
Yeah, they set them up like in stings with, yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, kudos to those guys for doing all that stuff. There's so many more predators out there. You would think like your police departments and your municipalities and the counties would do more to combat this stuff. Why? I don't know, but and why the liberals are for it, it's just beyond me. It disgusts me doing that.
Let me say something. It's in my opinion, it's not a disease. They talk about, they want to call them minor attracted persons. It's not a disease, guys. It's a choice. These people have a proclivity to being attracted to young boys and girls. And I just don't think you can be slow rolling with that. All right, let's talk about nice, George.
We can. You want to do that before we go to break? All right, we can do that. Nice.
Yeah, why not?
Do nice. That's all right. Do nice, yeah. Lance, be nice, will you? I'm going to try to be nice. This is Trump posting this, I think, yesterday on his True Social. What do you think? They're going to change it? What's the sentiment here? He should. I think so. Why not? National Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Look at the nice agents. Imagine the media have to say it. And these nice agents.
Yeah. I think it's a great idea. I'd like to do it because the attacks have been rabid about ICE. You know, they've been all over the place. You've seen them do it. You know, Excuse me. I think it's a good idea. I like the idea behind it. I like the concept. Make it more difficult for mainstream media to talk their crappy divisional and chaos rhetoric. Let's do it. I think it's a good time. It's time to make a choice. Let's rock and roll on it. All right. We've done the UFOs. I'd like to hear some comments on your thoughts if you guys are excited about this. Get in the chat and let us know. How about election? Oh, we got to take a break. All right, George, let's take a short break. While we're on the break, take the live link, share it far and wide. Of course, hit that thumbs up. Get in the comments. Hit the follow button here. Hopefully you guys watched the Crypto Power Hour this morning. Great show, 7 a.m. If you're not following the Crypto Power Hour, we're on the break. Find it on Rumble. Go over there. We're on YouTube. We're on Locals, as is this show. Help us grow on YouTube. Help us grow on Locals. We need your support. All right, let's do it. Let's rock and roll. Take a short break. We'll be right back here on the
Big news. More developing things coming out this morning.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these K9 units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.
All right, welcome back to the Big Mig Show. Here we your host, Lance Migliaccio, George Ballantine, and of course, my beautiful mods in the chat, Big Mig Mafia. So if you're out there listening, watching, if you join the chat, come join in. We've got a bunch of good people in there. Mansion, Robbie Sunshine. Where's my other dude? Where is he? Greg Muttley's there. Who else?
Hey, George, go solo while you're doing the break. I'm going to reset my camera. Get a lot of glitching over here.
All right, well, let me give a big shout out to our sponsor then. Block Trust IRA to bring access to cryptocurrency wealth to everyday Americans. Their exclusive Animus AI trading platform works 24/7, analyzing market data and executing advanced strategies that go far beyond buy and hold. This sophisticated technology, once reserved only for Wall Street insiders, but guess what? Now it's available to you. And this system was named #1 crypto technology platform by Bitcoin Magazine out of more than 1,500 global competitors. Our clients are already seeing over 250% returns on their investment, all military-grade security, and up to $200 million insurance. Your wealth is fully protected. So don't wait. Visit bigmigcrypto.com today and see you can join this financial revolution. That's finally giving Americans access to the crypto opportunity of a lifetime. Once again, visit bigmigcrypto.com today. You can get up to $2,500 free crypto. QR codes on the screen. Take a screenshot. I'll smile for you today. All right, good. Links in the chat, and it's also under in the more section under the video. We got you covered every which way. All you got to do is just go there. All right, big news coming out. Big news. I was going to start, but this came out this morning. And this is a victory lap for election integrity because the Virginia Supreme Court just struck down the Democrat gerrymandering referendum as unconstitutional. So their hopes of trying to get that 9-1 or 10-0 favor of Democrats, not happening. Right now it sits 5-4. Anything can happen midterms, but they're not going to get that done because it's unconstitutional. And it's coming from their own Supreme Court, which is great. We needed that. All right. But Tennessee, they passed their new map, which is going to eliminate that one Democrat seat that was based on race. And let me tell you something. This Tennessee Democrat state senator wasn't happy about it. I mean, there we go. Unruly over there. He was standing on the desk or fighting with the sergeant at arms. I think even the governor already signed it. But more importantly, another big thing is you see what happened in Indiana. They say it was 5. I don't know. Maybe it was up to 7 incumbent GOP senators all lost their primaries to new and improved, hopefully, aka MAGA senators if they win the election in November. So, it put a lot of these other incumbent senators and Congress people, especially in the states, put them on notice, and really they're running scared. Because remember South Carolina, they said they weren't going to do anything. They were just going to keep it the way it is, their maps, and it's all because of a bunch of GOP senators. Well, seems like the House just passed a referendum to redistrict and get rid of those race-based districts, and I think that they want to postpone their primaries now till August. Now it has to go to the Senate. So let's see what they do. Lance, I'm just bringing you in. Give me a second.
Yeah, no problem. It's all good.
So that's going to be something to look at. But Tennessee, it was crazy. I don't know. Did you hear me what I was saying?
I caught part of it. Go ahead.
So Virginia Supreme Court just struck down that Democrat gerrymandering referendum as unconstitutional. So that's out the door. They ain't going to get that. Then I was just talking about Tennessee now. What's going on? It's, a little bit of South Carolina, because the South Carolina House went forward past a new map, got rid of the race-based, because South Carolina didn't want to do it. Their state senators. But after Indiana, what went on now, they're getting off their asses. So let's see what happens with that. But, you look at this behavior of this Tennessee state senator, Democrat senator, and you got to wonder, why did people vote for him? Why? I mean, don't they see through this BS? I'm sorry, but you could be white trash, black trash. He's just trash. No matter what color. You're going to act like that. You're just trash. It's crazy. We got you want to play the video?
I do. I'm just trying to figure out how she even got up there.
Yeah, I don't know. True.
Did they use a crane?
She didn't even want to get down.
Yeah.
They should charge her in case she did any damage to the desk.
Yeah, exactly.
Just saying.
Probably had to use a forklift. We didn't see that part. But look, at the end of the day, everybody in this country should want free and fair elections. I don't like the redistricting, gerrymandering done by anybody. I just don't. I'm not happy about it.
But if those districts were done by race, which the Supreme Court of the United States just ruled that it's unconstitutional, they have to fix them. Correct, right?
The question is, are they going to fix them? Are they going to hurry up and fix them before the midterms?
Well, a bunch of states are doing it. I mean, the one that said they weren't going to right now was South Carolina. But once again, their House did push something through. Now I think it's got to go to the state senators. And they're the ones that didn't want to do it. But, let's see what happens.
Yeah. If you want to win the midterms, George and I said it many times, let's go into overdrive on this stuff and let's go ahead and start making some arrests. That's how you win the midterms. Let's get some deep state arrests, some massive amounts of deep state arrests. And that means a lot of the congressional members that have been involved in lying to the American people and defrauding the American people. And that goes for both sides of the aisle. I don't want anybody to come out of there unscathed on that. All right. This is a warning for the men out there. As a man, you should never, ever, ever enter a deer calling contest. Ever. I had no idea what it looked like when you were doing deer calling. This is a contest out of Germany, but this is a warning for the guys out in the audience. For a number of reasons, don't do it. Just don't do it. Let's play the clip.
That's a beer call?
Not a beer. You're not calling beer. It's a deer call. That is the deer call.
What kind of fucking deer goes to that, bro?
I don't know. I guess it's what deer sound like. I haven't spent a lot of time trying to call deer, and I never will. But that was the Deer Call World Championship in Germany. People are going to town on this. People have put like Pete Buttplug's face on that guy right there. A lot of people are saying those guys are preparing for a meeting with Barack Obama. Look, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think that's a good choice for any straight men out there. It's not a good look. I recommend, maybe you like the deer call, do it in the privacy of your own home. Do not do this out in public. Nothing good can come from that, man. Nothing good. Insider trading. Yeah, it's going on.
Lance, I got to say something because there's a person in the chat. I have not seen, but I have not seen the person in the chat. I could be wrong, but Bambino Bear, I had the same sentiment. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. There's a lot of reasons. You guys saw it firsthand. I'll let you guys figure out that's going to be a terrible ongoing meme. I can just feel it.
And then you got Iowa Trump. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. I'm looking for somebody to transpose Obama's face on that and put Michelle over on the other guy. Or Big Mike, whatever you want to call him. All right, look, I don't know.
Wait, do you know that Big Mike and Obama are having marital problems and he's blaming it on Trump? Because she warned him not to go after Trump and talk, just, stay out of it. They have marital problems. And he was on air the other day blaming Trump for his marital problems. Go figure.
Well, maybe just shut the fuck up. That's my opinion. I think it's time. All right, tell us about the insider trading. There's more of it going on. It happens on Wall Street. Our congressional members are doing it. And, listen, these prediction markets are no different. We're seeing some of it on there. We've had some of it exposed. This could be the largest insider trading scandal in oil history, George. Tell me the details.
In oil history? All right, well, this is... They're saying about 920 million in crude oil shorts were placed at 3:40 a.m. Eastern. I believe that was yesterday. This was 70 minutes before any news went live. Now, I'm going to go over the timeline, right? 3:40 a.m., 10,000 contracts shorted oil with no news. 4:50 a.m., Axios reported a 14-point deal to end the Iranian war. 7 a.m., oil crashed 12%, and in these shorts, a 125 million profit. Someone placed a 920 million crude oil short at 3:40 a.m. This is interesting, huh?
Well,
do we know who this someone is?
They're allegedly investigating it right now.
Let me see.
Now, what that means for you guys, I don't know, but there's an uncanny amount of this going on. People are just wildly accurate, George. Wildly accurate.
Well, I don't know, because you have whistleblowers are now claiming the news was coordinated with insiders leaking order info up to 30 minutes before the reports went live. Sometimes you just gotta go, You gotta find out who's the person that made the money off these shorts. That's what we need to know. I mean, that information is public, right? Isn't it? Somewhat?
It is public, but I got to tell you, it's one of those things that, again, listen, a lot of accuracy. If somebody had,
could it
access
be?
Well, let me say this.
Is it Pelosi?
If you were in the Strait of Hormuz,
is it Pelosi?
And you saw a missile enter the air, right? Yes, Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, exactly. If you saw a missile enter the air, if you were in the Strait of Hormuz and you picked up the phone immediately and called George Ballantyne, and you said, "Hey, George, I'm on the ship, and I just saw the first missile hit out of the air." Is that really insider trading, or is it accuracy? Because let's face it, when that missile enters the air, if somebody had that within seconds and knew it, you would know that oil prices would be impacted, because the oil markets react very quickly.
That's
so
not.
If you had somebody,
that's just having connections to information, Lance. You're right.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Sorry.
So it is possible that you could have somebody on the ground over there that's getting the information to you very rapidly. So that's not really insider trading. That's just really early warning, early notice. So I don't know. We'll see what happens here, but we're going to keep a close eye on it. Like you said, George, it could be Nancy Pelosi. She might have, maybe she sent her husband to the Strait of Hormuz and she's got him sitting over there, watching the action.
I mean,
all right. What do you think about Pramil Jayapal, the Democrat from
She should be charged right now for interfering with the for defying President Trump. I mean, she just blatantly announces it. And how is she still standing around? She says she's been working with foreign countries to supply oil to Cuba when Trump stopped the oil going.
Yeah. And what's interesting about it is there's a law called the Logan Act. You guys know it. It would seem that this applies to the Logan Act. But I'm not a Logan Act expert. I tried to look it up to try to learn some stuff. I can't say that I know a lot about it. Maybe there's some people in the audience, if you guys know, this would seem to be a violation of the Logan Act. So I'm not sure how she's getting away with this. Let's play the clip.
In January, Trump issued an executive order threatening tariffs on any country supplying fuel to Cuba. This was this January, just a few months ago. And oil shipments from Venezuela, that's where Cuba had been getting its oil, were halted after the U.S. operations to kidnap Nicolas Maduro. Since January, only one Russian tanker of oil has made it to Cuba. In fact, it landed just a couple of days before I landed. And one tanker has enough oil basically for 10 to 14 days of Cuba's oil needs. So it's a very limited amount of time. Now, Russia has said they're going to send another tanker. I was in conversations with the ambassadors from Mexico and some other places, and I know other countries in Latin America are trying to figure out how to get oil there. But it is a crisis beyond imagination. Just this past Friday, on May 1st, Trump signed a broad executive order that widens sanctions and allows for new penalties, similar to what we have for Iran and Russia, against foreign banks and firms that are dealing with Cuba. And it also reinforces the ban on U.S. tourism. I have called these sanctions an economic bombing of the infrastructure of Cuba. It is illegal. It is against the war. We've been talking about this in Iran, obviously, to bomb the infrastructure of any country. That is against international law. This is essentially doing the same thing. It is bombing the infrastructure of Cuba with economic sanctions that essentially ensure that the infrastructure collapses.
All right. Well, listen, we feel for the Cuban people. I have relatives there in Cuba, so don't get it twisted. But this is all an effort. What Trump doing, and specifically Marco Rubio too, is to free the Cuban people from the communism over there. And people don't want that. I mean, put the oil aside. Even before we stopped oil, the people are starving over there. Their electricity gets shut off. It's just so many crazy things going on. I just want to know, is this chick J-Pal, this congressional rep, when we do go in and free Cuba, is she going to start crying, oh, we use the military, this and that? Or is she going to be for it? I bet you she's going to be for it. Because, Lance, I did a summary of the Logan Act, and I'm going to read it. The Logan Act, 18 U.S.C. 953, was enacted in 1799. Is a federal law making it a felony for unauthorized U.S. citizens to negotiate with foreign governments in disputes with the U.S. It aims to prevent private individuals from undermining official U.S. foreign policy. Now, it also says, despite occasional debate, it has 0 recorded convictions. Yeah, no wonder these reps don't care and do whatever they want to do. No one's ever used it. No one's ever been convicted of it. Is she a prime example? Yeah. I just want to know, is anybody in Congress going to censor her? Is they going to do an ethics review of her? Maybe throw her ass out of Congress?
How about charging her with a felony? I mean, the purpose of the Logan Act was enacted, to stop these U.S. citizens from not communicating, from not sabotaging, right? Any kind of, and doing this communication with foreign governments when we're actually in a negotiation kind of. That's what this is, right? This is negotiation. We would love to have Cuba flip. So it's a great place. The people have been suffering for a very long time. This is a law on the books, and it appears to be a felony. This is what the problem I have. There's laws on the books that we're not enforcing. It seems like the congressional members have a different set of laws. And I'd like to know, I'd like Congress to come out, and I'd like to make it clear to the American people, how do they get this exclusion? How does it seem like, whether it's insider trading or the Logan Act or other laws, the congressional members just operate with immunity and impunity? I'd just like to know. I'd like you congressional members, any of you that watch the show, we know some of you do, to tell us, why does it seem like you guys have a different status than we do?
Well,
really, at the end of the day, because I guarantee you, if this was an American citizen that was helping negotiate oil transfer, a regular person, not a congressional member, and they were doing this, Secret Service and FBI would be at your door immediately. They'd ask them some questions, and your indictment would be forthcoming, I would bet. And I also don't understand how this isn't a FARA violation or an Agency Registration Act. This is not something that should be going on.
Yeah, well, there's evident consequences. But Lance, you're the law guy. You had the 4 paralegal degrees. We always go after these rogue judges, but I know you always talk about, but there are good judges out there, and I know you just found a couple good judges out there, and you want to show them the judges that got it right. What do we got?
So here's what it is. Listen, I'm very vocal, but I have said it many, many times when I go after judges. I've said there are lots of bad judges. There are judges that don't deserve lifetime appointment, that don't deserve absolute immunity. But there are some good judges, and I want to make sure I make that clear. There are some very good judges in state and federal. And my hat's off to the ones that are doing a good job. I found a couple of them, and these are judges dealing with pedophiles. And these judges, they deserve as much good press as I give the other side of it. I'm looking for them just to do an unbiased job, follow the laws of these United States, whether state or federal, and I'm looking for them to equally apply the law. These judges got it right. A lot of these guys walk in, they get these sweetheart plea deals. This Christopher Lowe thought he was going to walk into this Judge Raquel West's courtroom. And her name is Raquel West. So I want to make sure we really use their names here. He wasn't just a casual offender. This guy was a predator caught in an international dragnet. Investigators found a digital mountain of 17,000 images and hundreds of videos involving the most vulnerable. I'm talking about toddlers, children as young as 2 years old. It wasn't a mistake. It was calculated. And this is a horrific betrayal of innocence. Judge West, in this particular case, and I've got two judges here, both females, so I'm going to give it to them. She didn't go for it. She didn't follow this garbage. He was asked for leniency, and she dropped the hammer. Let's listen to the clip. And I think it's so deserved because I don't blame her. Now, this particular case, this one, she sets it for trial. The next judge, brutal. So let's give her a little bit of round of applause and just say, good job. And anybody that knows who Judge Raquel West is, maybe you leave her a nice message. She's doing the job the way it should be. She says, I'm not going for this. I'm not going for this too soft. Let's hear what she has to say, George.
Before I go to, I just want to thank Judith Jamp for your donation. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. I love you, dear. All right, let's play the clip.
But I already signed for probation.
I don't have to accept your probation.
I wasn't told that.
Yeah, you actually were, because we reset your case for sentencing. And here's the thing, it doesn't matter. All right, are you Robert Lowe?
Yes, ma'am.
And so Mr. Lowe was previously in court, entered pleas of guilty to 3 cases of possession of child pornography. There was an agreement in those 3 cases for a 7-year deferred probation and a $1,000 fine, with dismissals, I think, in 3 or 4 other cases. I've received the pre-sentence report. Has everyone had an opportunity to review that report?
Yes, Your Honor.
I feel like this is different from some of these types of cases, because Mr. Lowe was actually involved in creating, with his own family member, victim, who was very young, 5 years old. So this wasn't I downloaded something and didn't realize what I was downloading. This is very different. This is a family member that was victimized because of this. Don't talk right now, okay? And so for those reasons, I do not feel comfortable accepting deferred probations in these cases. So I'm going to reject those plea offers. I don't know, honestly, I haven't thought more about what I would be amenable to, other than potentially just letting a jury decide. I'll reset it one time, you guys negotiate, see where you are on it, and if you come up with something, you can contact me. Otherwise, we'll get rejections and get his cases set for trial and let a jury decide one way or the other. Okay? I'm just not comfortable with this at all. You can go back with the bailiff.
But I already signed for probation.
I don't have to accept your probation.
I wasn't told that.
Yeah, you actually were, because we reset your case for sentencing. And here's the thing, it doesn't matter if you were or not. I'm not accepting the plea agreements, okay? There's nothing you can do at this point other than Ms. Holmes will be out there to visit with you about any other options. And if you don't like those options, or if I don't like those options, then ultimately that's what a jury is for. If everyone can't agree, and then we get a jury to come in and determine if you're guilty and what the punishment is if you are found guilty. Okay, so let's see where we're. I'm not going to consider any bonds at this time.
Yes, Your Honor. I just his mother is here, and so but just for the record, because I have spoken with her on several occasions, as well as with Mr. Lowe. They did keep asking me if he would get out today, and my response to both of them was that it's up to the judge. At the end of the day. So
thank you, Ms. Holmes.
That yesterday,
yes, ma'am.
When I visited with you,
yes, ma'am.
And I told that to your mother,
yes, ma'am.
That ultimately it's up to the court on whether you would be released today and placed on probation.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Holmes. You can go back with the bailiff.
I can't say nothing else.
It's probably not wise right now. Okay, go back with the bailiff. I'm going to delete the other dismissals that came through at this time.
This judge was from Jefferson County, Texas. And, you know, Lance, always when we talk about these other judges and we say, look, sometimes it's a prosecutor makes the deals, but she just showed a judge can not honor that deal and say, no, That's a bad deal. We ain't giving this predator that or anybody for that reason. So
judges don't have to accept the prosecutor's lousy deals, and judges don't have to give lousy deals. That proves the point. This guy using one of his relatives to produce child porn, a 5-year-old, the 5-year-old's going to be, is going to struggle with that probably for the rest of their life. This guy deserves the worst of worst, but this is what the scum, and this is what's been happening across the country. So this guy feels like somehow he should be guaranteed this probation. This is a scumbag. This guy needs serious jail time, and he needs to deal with the consequences of being a pedophile in jail, which he's going to find out. Not going to be good. Now, here's another one. This is Judge Branch. She unloaded on this predator in a way you wish every judge would. And if you want to see what zero tolerance policy looks like, which I think is necessary when it comes to child traffickers and child pornographers and child predators, look no further than Judge Jennifer Branch, and she's in Hamilton County. I'm not sure, George, where Hamilton County is.
I don't know. There's like 10 Hamilton counties, but I'm looking right now. That's Ohio.
So this is a guy named Mick McFadden, a creepy ass son of a bitch. And he's facing charges for the horrific abuse of 2 young children. Now listen to this, ages 4 and 6, who were left in his care. So probably, again, a relative. I have to tell you, this judge says it like it is. I think that every child predator case, before the judge is going to rule, they should be forced to listen to this judge. She states this court is sick and tired of seeing adults ruin and abuse children. I love everything she does. She runs 2 11-year concurrent, not concurrent, sentences. They're running in sequence here. So he has to do 22 years, 2 different charges. Nice. Now listen to what she has to say. Tell me every judge in the nation that's dealing with these types of cases shouldn't be forced to listen to Judge Branch first and then make their ruling and see whether or not they're going to give these softball charges. Because this creepy son of a bitch, even look at him, he looks like a creeper. This guy would have continued on if he got some slap on the wrist. There's no doubt. He'll probably die in prison. Looking at his age, he'll probably die in prison. And I'm telling you what, looking at this guy, he's in for a rough ride when he gets to the joint. You guys know what's going to happen, and he'll deserve every ounce of it. Let's play the clip.
Mr. McFadden, convicted of or pleaded guilty to a sexually oriented child victim offense. As such, you will be a Tier 3 registrant for your lifetime with in-person verification every 90 days. Failure to register, failure to verify residence at the specified times, or failure to provide notice of a change in resident address or other required information as described above will result in criminal prosecution. This court is so sick and tired of seeing adults ruin and abuse children. These are literally just one step from being babies. They come to a daycare, those parents struggle so that when they release their children to someone during the day, they have some semblance that that child is going to be protected and safe. Not let alone 2 of their children being raped by your own admission, sir. For sexual gratification, you violated a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. I do not know at this time what the total ramifications will be for those 2 young children, but there isn't anybody who doesn't understand now the developmental phases of children take place from 0 to 6 years old. You can't even know what damages you've done for sexual gratification. This to me is so mind-boggling that you used and abused 2 little children like they're inconsequential beings. Those are human persons with human dignity. The mere fact that they're small little people that can't fight off adults, that's why an adult left them with adults. I'm going to tell you something, Mr. McFadden. There's no free rapes in my courtroom. On count 1, I'm sending you to prison for 11 years. On count 4, I'm sending you to prison for 11 years. They will be consecutive to each other for a total of 22 years. You have 32 days jail credit. At this time, the court finds it necessary to protect the public from future crimes, to punish the offender, and to find that consecutive sentences are not disproportionate to the seriousness of the offender's conduct and to the danger the offender poses to the public. Folks, if you see it, you smell it, you know it's happening, you report it. These are little children that are the future. I hate to sound so cliche, but the children are our future, and if we're destroying them, we have no future. And this ends in this courtroom.
Yeah. Send that mofo out. Good for that judge.
Yeah, she's doing what she's supposed to be. The judges are supposed to be protecting the most vulnerable and making sure predators have nowhere to hide. I think it's clear. So I'd like Judge Branch's video to be a forced video for every judge in the nation. I'd like to hear that they've done that, like the administration, to make a point of saying, maybe you guys ought to listen to Judge Branch on these predators and pedophiles. If you don't throw the hammer down and they keep getting these slaps on the wrist, they're never going to stop. These people, this is mental health issue. There's no doubt. You know, the world is a creepy place in so many ways. You know, and you see it online, the world's changing. You know, they have sex robots and they have, you know, everybody's doing OnlyFans. And I don't know if you guys have seen it. They're now duplicating OnlyFans models. Guys can actually use different software platforms. So you might not even know. You might think you have some cute girl. You're over on OF doing whatever you guys are doing over there.
On OF, though, you have to verify yourself. So I don't know how they're doing it.
Well, what's really weird, have you seen the quality of these videos? I've seen it on X.
That I have, yes.
It's frightening.
It is.
It's frightening. I mean, the girls look real to me, but it's some guy with some girl transposed over the actions. I don't know how nasty it gets. I don't go to OF. It's not one of those things I do. But look, it's great. But the AccuJack 3000 has me concerned. This is even worse. And sometimes I wonder, is this all part of an agenda, George? They talk about wanting to reduce our population. They want to give people solutions where there's no interaction. People are already awkward. You guys see it. I don't know the last time you went out to eat, George, you see people glued to their cell phones, not communicating. The nightclub life is different. People go to Tinder for hookups. They don't do what we used to do. We used to meet out in clubs or bars or out in restaurants or wherever we approach women or as a guy, as a straight male. And you'd be like, hey, listen, I'd love to take you out for coffee, dinner, however it is. But the AccuJack 3000 seems to just cut that completely off. Just go right to it. Now you can use virtual reality. Grown men wearing virtual reality headset with a machine strapped around their waist that simulates intercourse. So they can pretend they're having a relationship with a woman. This is just this. They're calling it innovation. This guy he's at an event, I guess, where they're showing this kind of technology. And I think this is Korea, George.
I don't know where this is, but let me just say.
Holy crap. Take a look at this guy.
I don't know how this can be satisfying because it's just a stupid device. There's not a throat to grab, a hair to pull, you know. I'll just play it for you guys.
Whoa, George.
Welcome to API 2026 in Shanghai. We're here to show you the coolest things from the adult industry. And I think I've already found it.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
The world is changing, man. Not maybe for the better. All right. We see it sometimes, you know, government leadership, congressional members, they say the quiet part out loud, confirming our biggest fears. This is Somalia Maine State Representative out of Maine again. You can't, no surprise there. Detoxifying. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. Announces her #1 goal in office to surge taxpayer money from America to Somalia. Hopefully we'll be able to help our former country, Somalia. I mean, former country, you know, I understand some allegiance, but you're an American first, I would think. Trying to transfer American funds back to Somalia. You know, we've seen it. We know about the money laundering in California, Minnesota, and so many other places. Nick Shirley did a great job in making sure we knew. I don't know. This is what happens when, you know, people that have immigrated here recently decide that they're going to use their power and influence when they actually get installed into their elected official positions. Play the clip.
Policies, how can the politics in Somalia can be, you know, resonate what we have here in the United States, the democracy that we have. How can you help us, you know, be a better country and build back what we used to have back in long time ago? So hopefully we will be able to help our country, our former country, Somalia.
I mean, I don't understand. Why do we got to help all these countries? We need to help ourselves first. Just saying.
Yeah, that's what happens when these people get into a position of government power. They start trying to influence the money, the agenda, the budgets. I don't know.
All right.
You know, it's a struggle. All right.
You found some so-called wife for me? What's going on, Lance? Tell me just.
Yeah, this is the new future Miss George Ballantine, I think, here.
She's in Australia.
Look, I don't know.
She's in Australia.
Art is an interesting thing. Sometimes you look at art and you like shake your head, like the banana that was taped up on the wall that one guy paid $6.2 million for. I don't always get it. Sometimes I think art is the most massive money laundering operation in the world. Some of this art that gets sold for, great. There's fantastic artists. There's some high quality stuff out there. But when I see a smudge on paper that somebody says now is worth millions of dollars, or I see somebody doing this kind of art, and of course, when I saw this, I started laughing and I thought, yep, this is George's new ex-wife. Let's play the clip so the audience can see it. This is supposed to be art. I'm not sure how this is art. It's out of the Austrian Pavilion. It's called at the Venice Biennale, which I guess is some kind of a large scale art installation about the climate apocalypse. I'm not sure how this translates to the climate apocalypse, but again, George, maybe we can try to get her contact information for you. Let's play the clip. The naked version of the climate apocalypse. What do you think, George? Should I try to struggle and get her contact info for you?
No, thank you.
Yeah.
The last thing I need is crazy in my life. Not that type of crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, that's a wrap for the Big Mig Show. We appreciate you guys tuning in.
One of the mods said, heirs will be so disappointed. Right?
There you go. All right. Listen. So here's the thing. If you love the show, leave us a comment. Let Rumble know. Get in the comments. Always join the chat. For all the new followers and subscribers from this week, we got a bunch of paid subscribers this week at the $5 a month. Thank you. For the Rumble Rant tips this week, thank you so very much. For the new follows on X over at G Ballantine, Lance Miliaccio, and the Big Mig Show, thank you so very much. It means so much to us. You guys let us know that you appreciate all the hard work we did. We were up to the late hours of the night putting the show together. We're always rising and grinding and doing what we can for you guys. So Monday through Friday, 11 a.m., be here. Hit that follow button. Hit the notification button. You want to know when we're going live. And, of course, don't forget the Crypto Power Hour, 7 a.m. on Wednesdays and Fridays. If you want to find out about crypto, that's the spot to be. That's the #1 crypto show on Rumble. Go over to YouTube. Give us a follow on our channels. We got reinstated over there, so we're trying to build up our show. The Big Mig Show on YouTube, the Big Mig Show on Locals. All those follows add up. They all matter. We're trying to get back to monetizing over on YouTube. We'd be excited if we can get to that point. So thank you guys so very much. We want you to have an amazing weekend. If you get a little jonesing, you can pick up the Big Mig Talk radio show on Saturday and Sunday. But don't forget we do that also, and we love all the support on that show. God, country, family, we love you guys. We appreciate you. George, my last word is my brother.
It's Friday. Have a blessed weekend. Stay safe out there and stay healthy. Stay vigilant. Later.
I might have to let it drop. Said gotta do hella big, had to put it back again, like said had to put it hella big, had to put it.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA. The future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these K9 units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit WarriorDogFoundation.org.